Orlando Scandrick. He's going to stop by the desk. We'll ask him about the state of the Cowboys, the injuries, and the race in the NFC East. We can't wait for that.
Finally, I'll have somebody to have my back on this show against that cowboy hate coming across the table.
We have a cowboy hater and a lover. It's going to be great.
I don't even know why I need to be on the show tomorrow. All we're going to see is a bunch of cowboy cheerleaders. You know,
really?
Skip
We are?
Orlando, our Cowboys,
yeah.
our Cowboys, our Cowboys. And you know, far be it from me, I don't want to look like the bad guy for reminding the world y'all haven't won a Super Bowl in 20 years. What makes y'all relevant? I thought America was a great country. I thought America was #1. I thought America was superior to most, if not all. Yet we have the Dallas Cowboys as the representation of America. I mean, I think it's disgraceful.
We don't have enough pom-poms for you, though. All those colors. That would be
Say
tough.
whatever you want. You know, I think I
That's tomorrow right here
I don't look
on
as good as
First
you
Take.
don't mean I don't look
Orlando
good.
Scandrick. All right. You look fantastic.
Thank you.
Heading into the NFL season, there were concerns surrounding the Panthers' offense, some due to injury. And yet, as we approach Week 4, Newton and the Panthers are 3-0 and tied for first in the NFC South with the Atlanta Falcons. Now, of course, the defense, which ranks 7th overall, has played a large role in the team's success. But still, Cam has basically been responsible for all of the Panthers' offense, generating 76% of their offensive yards and 7 of their 8 total touchdowns, 5 passing, 2 rushing. Some are arguing that he's proven to be the most valuable player in the NFL, at least from the perspective of value to his team through Week 3. Cam for MVP. Stephen A. Smith, are you cheering for that one?
Well, I don't root against him because I got a lot of love for the kid. I think that he's going through a lot. I think the one blemish on his career obviously had things to do with family as opposed to himself from his college days or whatever. And I applaud him for defending his loved one the way that he did, because most of us would. Since he's been a pro, the only issue we've ever had with him is that he seemed to get down on himself or down on others by putting a towel over his head, and his body language wasn't that great. When you shred everything or shove everything aside, that is the only thing that we've been able to say negatively about Cam Newton. The development has been there. Now you sit there and look at him and say he's got to get over the hump. He's got to take that to the next level. I remember Skip getting on him because of that pick 60 through to Cam Chancellor last year in the postseason. But that was against the Legion of Boom. That was against the #1 defense in the NFL. And he was devoid of a lot of offensive weapons. And that was before. And you have to remember that was because his GM decided to just clean house. Steve Smith was gone, along with a plethora of other individuals that ended up being gone as well. Now you got Jonathan Stewart, who's still there. He can't give you 4 yards a carry. He's only giving you 3.5 a game. D'Angelo Williams is gone. Steve Smith Sr. is gone. Kelvin Benjamin obviously went down, got injured. So what do we have? We have Cam Newton, and the only thing he has available to him is a suspect offensive line with guys I barely even know. You know, Michael O'Hare, I know him, but Norwell, Callie, Turner, Remmers. I mean, when you look at this offensive line, to say it's suspect, I'm not going to say they're awful, but they've never been associated with greatness. So you got that offensive line, and it's proven because their running game is somewhat suspect. You know, he's been sacked already 5 times. Then you take that into account and you look at the weapons that he has available to him. We like Greg Olsen. He's been on this show.
And he's
if
played
he
well.
wants to, he clearly has a future in broadcasting, but he's showing that he can still play. Had about 134 yards last week, and the guy is their leading receiver. I mean, this is Greg Olsen we're talking about here. He's your leading receiver, and Ted Ginn Jr. is your #1 receiver, even though he's #2 in yardage behind Olsen. So your 2 primary targets is Olsen and Ted Ginn Jr. You have not much of a running game to speak of, and yet you're finding a way to feed off what that really, really good Carolina Panthers defense gives you, and you're managing to win games. So is he Aaron Rodgers? No. Is he Tom Brady? No. Is he Peyton Manning? No. And he certainly doesn't deserve the MVP award, particularly over Brady or Rodgers, because we know where New England and Green Bay, respectively, would be without those guys. But does he deserve to be in discussion after the 3 weeks, considering what they're doing and what he has to work with? I definitely think that Cam should be in the conversation. He deserves our respect, and we have to acknowledge the job that he's doing under the circumstances that he's being forced to do it.
So, if we're talking about Cam for MVP, I'll just give you one scenario whereby it would apply. If this team catapults from its 3-0 start and finishes, I'm going to throw this out, 14-2, he would be right in the thick of the MVP race, because I'm pretty sure he would have to be the biggest reason they went 14-2. Do you think they can go 14-2?
No way.
I don't. They are clearly the worst of the 3-0 teams so far, and that's no reflection on them. They just are what they are, and they really haven't played anybody of note yet. Their opponents are combined so far 2-7. So they won at Jacksonville 20-9, and they beat the Texans at home by 7, and then they barely held off the Saints and Luke McCown at home last weekend, 27-22, thanks to a spectacular interception by Josh Norman, who is turning into a stud cornerback. So we get back to the defense. It's now ranked so far, just through 3 games against 3 mediocre opponents, it's ranked second in points allowed. Okay, that's pretty great so far. You know, so far against nobody yet, but still, I look at the defense. They lost Charles Johnson to IR for 8 weeks, but they went out and got Jared Allen. I thought that was a sweet pickup, because I think he can still play and he can still help this team. And Kuechly's had a concussion, but I assume he'll be back maybe this week. And then I just mentioned Josh Norman, and Thomas Davis is just a tackling machine. So this defense is pretty legit.
The defense reminds me of the team that took them to a 12-4 record and a playoff berth in San Francisco a couple of years back. The offense just leaves an awful lot to be
and he lost Kelvin Benjamin, his big 6'5" stud receiver, back in training camp to a freakish injury. And I thought that Devin Funchess would come out of Michigan as a pretty high draft pick.
But I think he's going to be fine.
He just hadn't done much yet.
Yeah, I just think it's too early.
He hasn't figured it out
yet. I just think it's too early. But remember how we sat here last year and we were like, how could they do this to Cam? They took away like his top 4 receiving weapons. I'm like, how do you put this guy in that position? You know, and they're like, well, we got to pay him. And I'm like, yeah, you got to pay him, but you got to figure out a way to make sure that you got weapons around him. They literally put Cam out there offensively, that is. They put him out there on an island all by himself, and they still managed to win the South with a 7-8-1 record. Okay? And I think they're to be commended for that, but it was a travesty that they put him through that.
So you asked me these kind of questions. I'm going to ask it back to you.
Sure.
Cam Newton already leads all quarterbacks in rushing with 144 rush yards. He is the second leading rusher on their football team to Jonathan Stewart, obviously. And in some games, I think he's going to be the first leading rusher on their team, because that's who they are. Can he stay upright through all those games?
Let me tell you why he can. Some people use his athletic ability. He's big. He's strong. If I'm wrong, it's because I only see what the camera shows me, because I haven't been to any Carolina Panthers game, even though I would love to be, because I love me some Charlotte, North Carolina. But I will tell you this. Cam seems to me to be a smart runner. He's not exactly Russell Wilson, but he's pretty close.
As far as sliding goes.
Well, he doesn't have to, because Cam usually running to the side, and he's usually getting out of bounds. He's not usually running to the middle of the field, as far as I can tell. Again, I'm not at the game, so I don't see every play. But from the camera angles, when I see Cam Newton running the football, he's usually not running where he's required to slide. He's usually running out of bounds. He doesn't get hit too much running outside the pocket. That doesn't happen to him all the time, and I attribute that to his intellect, because he's not trying to do it. Think about how embarrassing it was when we were talking about RG3, and we were like literally suggesting that he go over to the Nationals to let them teach him how to slide. All right, because he wasn't getting out of bounds.
I agree.
And when he was in bounds, he was diving head first, which gives them the license to hit him.
Because we didn't want him to get injured.
Or he didn't slide properly. Cam doesn't have that problem. Cam knows how to get out of bounds, and I give him credit for that. Plus, he's bigger and he can take more hits, but he knows how to get out of bounds.
And we're going to talk about the Hockey League controversy a little later in the show, but this is why Cam is hanging in there on what he says Hockey League said to him, because he wants protection when he runs with the football. He wants, within the rules, to be protected like everybody else gets protected.
And we are going to talk about that. I thought about some good points.
Oh, good. All right.
Yeah.
One quick question before I get in trouble by our producers. Are they the best team in the NFC South right now?
Yeah, you'd have to say that.
By the way, no.
Oh, I forgot about Atlanta.
I say the Falcons are, but by the way, you don't worry about getting in trouble with the producers. Skip's got you. I don't know about me, because you're from Connecticut. But
you're the one who runs this show.
He got your police.
Oh, please!
You know you lying.
That's lying. That's laughable.
This man is connected. He is connected
Cam,
at the highest level. Am I not right?
Please.
Connected.
You both are. Well, trust me, I'm the rookie. Cam Newton is getting a lot of love right now with the 3-0 start, but is he MVP worthy? Skip and Stephen A have given their takes. We want yours. Go to Twitter and vote yes or no using the hashtag MVP for Cam, and let us know if you think he is worthy of the MVP. LeBron is feeling the love in Cleveland this season, but will there be too much love on the Cavs in 2015? You'll see what I was trying to do there in just a minute. We'll be right back.